Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to claim a half hour to speak about a possible set of events that will, I think, astound the American people. Most by now would agree that a shutdown of the government is a very bad idea. Even more so, the shutdown of the government is a worse idea for the American people. But if you want to hear the worst of the worst, I would say by far it is shutting down the government of a local government which is not involved in your national fight. That is what could happen as the 112th Congress closes out and leaves its signature on American history. The district's local budget raised in the city, a budget larger than the budget of some states, thanks to the taxpayers of the city, nevertheless has to come to be approved by the Congress. It was approved by the District of Columbia months ago, even approved by the Financial Service Committee months ago. But here it sits because most of the appropriations have not been approved by the Congress of the United States. No wonder District of Columbia residents have informed our office that they will be here tomorrow to speak for themselves. Because, Madam Speaker, taxation without representation is bad enough. It was considered so outrageous that our forefathers went to war over this very notion. But taxation without representation, followed by confiscation of a local government's judgment on how to spend its own money, is un-American and should be unacceptable anywhere in the world except authoritarian governments. So here I am again. I was on the floor just a few months ago on this very same issue. And doesn't it say everything about this Congress this year? The Republicans have had a year to learn since they took control, and they are very slow learners, because for the third time we face a possible government shutdown, and we face the possible shutdown of a local government that is not in this fight and has passed its own local balanced budget. No forward movement. No forward movement for the District of Columbia, and no forward movement for the country. We are embroiled in the same fights because one side, my friends on the other side of the aisle, have decided that a legislative body is one in which one side takes all. The whole notion that we come from diverse and different parts of the country and we'll have to find a meeting of the minds on issue after issue has fled from this chamber. So we see it not only with respect to my district caught in this fight, a fight not of its making, a fight from which it cannot extricate itself, a fight from which it cannot negotiate itself from. We see this happening as if there were no past history to inform to do this again. We don't know if we'll be home for Christmas. We don't know if the government will be shut down. We don't know if there will be a payroll tax holiday desperately needed by everybody who works in the district, in the United States. And we don't know whether there will be unemployment insurance for everybody who doesn't work and can't find a job. And that is for one person. For every one person looking for a job today, this Congress this country now has for every one person, for every four, let me get this right because this is quite astounding. For every 4 people looking for a job today, there is 1 opening. Now, that, of course, is because you have to do 2 things when you find yourself in the predicament that the president found himself when he entered the White House. You've got to find a way to grow your economy with some revenue on the near inside, and you've got to find your way to cut yourself out of what you have been left. Of course, the other side understands the cutting part. They don't care, apparently, if the economy goes down the drain because they are about to recess without ever having come before this chamber with a jobs bill. This Republican Congress has no major legislation to show for a year's worth of work. It has been off on side issues, and one of those side issues has been the District of Columbia, into whose business it has no business entering. Taking the city's vote, the vote that the city had in the Committee of the Whole, on the very first day as the first item of business by disapproving the rule, and then piling on with a set of amendments designed to intrude on the city's right to govern itself and to spend its own local funds as every local government does, as those who elect it locally have insisted. So I have had yesterday to call the mayor of the District of Columbia once again and say I don't see any way out of a possible close down for the District of Columbia if the federal government closes down. And while he found it unbelievable after the Congress now has the lowest rating in memory that they would even consider a close down, nevertheless he's got to take the actions of preparations that the government takes and is now taking when a close down becomes a possibility. The Home Rule Act gave the district control over its local laws and its local funds, with the caveat that they were to pass through here and pass by. That's literally what it is, a pass by in the Congress. This has become more than a pass by. It's become an occasion to encumber the District of Columbia with the views and the laws of members of Congress not elected from the District of Columbia, not responsible to the District of Columbia. So the do-nothing 112th Congress has no major bill to its credit, no signature to take home, but it does leave an infamous signature that it was able to bully a medium-sized city in America because of some leftover jurisdiction over its local affairs. No wonder that there is palpable harm to the residents of this city if you have the right to bully. They argue just like the bully in the schoolyard, they're going to bully. But I come to the floor this evening to say that we will never let an occasion where you intrude on our rights as American citizens go by without calling you on it. We may go down, but we will go down fighting. We will not go silently into the night.